For the past 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, Nigeria has been having challenges that are beckoning and waiting for answers and solutions. That is why we are bringing to you our program, State of the Nation. And this is going to come up on our flagship program this morning on ITV. I am hereby inviting you to join me, Bola Bakare, your host, on State of the Nation, so that we can hasten the motions that brings national development. It's going to be a regular basis on Tuesdays. Make it a date with me. I'll be there waiting for you, and then we shall discuss Nigeria on an holistic level.
Welcome once again to your lofty program, State of the Nation, where we hasten the motions for national development. And honestly, when it comes to national development, we are all in it together. This morning, our national development factor is going to dwell in the element of politicking, because it is politics that ushers in our governments. Little wonder we all should be highly interested in what is happening to us. But on the sidebar, this morning's case is going to dwell on the element of women. Women in politics. The way forward. I'm a man out here in the studio, and with me I have 2 women. So it's a case of 2 to 1. It has been a case where they normally say there is marginalization, the men don't want us to move, the men are chauvinistic, the men are this. They've called us names and names and names unending. But this morning we are going to tidy it up. We are going to make them walk the talk. That is why I have with me in the studio my sister, Dr. Philomena ERIYO. My sister, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Good. And my co-anchor, Charity Tanko.
I'm still here.
That's good. Oh, like I said in my opening, you, the female gender, you've just about castrated us men, that we don't give you the room, we don't allow you to do things in as much as you know you can do things. Bearing in mind the element of what went to the National Assembly, that came out with the 35% affirmation for women. And at the same time, that percentage has not been achieved. Even the best of examples is the National Assembly in itself. You are not even close to 35%, you are just on 6%.
Okay.
Thereabout. So what do you intend to do to propagate women in politics? There are other subsequent questions, but just give us an intro. What do you want to do to propagate women in politics?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
First and foremost, I believe the viewer will want to know a little bit more about my very self.
Of course, go ahead.
My name is Dr. PHILOMENA ERIYO. I'm the president of Word to Word Interreligious Women in Politics for APC. I started this journey knowing fully well that all hands must be on deck to ensure this 35 affirmative order, that we achieve it to the maximum. Therefore, a lot of issues around why women, we are not getting it right. Hence the creation of my organization, which is an organization that fosters care for Christian women, Muslim women, and traditional worshippers. So, yeah, I know it's a good one. It's often like people are traditional worshipper. But when we vote, are we able to detect who is a traditional worshipper, who is a Muslim, who is a Christian? Do we segregate the votes we want? So everyone is needed to ensure that women are playing the right role and in the right way. Now, going directly to your question, what are we doing? Through my organization, first and foremost, women need to be united. Women need to speak one voice. Women need to enable one another. And I want to direct this to my great mothers and sisters who are already there in House of Rep, House of Senate, House of Assembly, party chairperson women, and local government chairwomen. They have gotten to the height where mentoring is very important. In this segment, women need to pull along, mentor the young ones, Look at your community and see those you target that you know that they have the technical know-how or they actually understand politics, regardless whether they are educated or they are not educated. They can always find a way to be fixed in.
I would like to ask you a question based on what you just said right now, which is a good one.
Yeah.
You said the women in high places should go ahead and make sure they mentor the young ones.
Yes.
Honestly, these days, if you go to multinationals, there are women there, CEOs, bright ones.
Yes.
If you go international, if you go global, we have our own Zainab Ahmed, we have our own Okonjo Iweala,
so many
heading the world. If you go to IMF, it is a female out there. But the thing is, like you rightly said, how do you translate this back home? Because you mentioned one thing too, that women, it seems you don't like yourselves that much.
Well,
so how come you don't take yourselves along? There are two women here, so I'm in trouble.
Well, it's the nature of a woman. You know, we rant a lot, we talk a lot. Value speech is what I look at.
Okay.
And part of that value speech and valued action, like I said, is to beginning to educate our women that when one woman is in front and we learn to cue, if they allow those who wants to climax politically to stand behind them, they walk with your footstep, they watch you. Because like my women, I have a lot of women mentors. In my organization, I have a patch of it that is called New Generation Women in Politics across the 33 states. We are across 33 states, interreligious women. Yes, it is. I started it year 2019. I started enlisting and bringing women together. Actually, my activism started in England. I schooled and I lived in England.
It's still in you. Yeah?
Yes, so I have been doing this. It's what I do out of interest. And it's not only political. After politics, there is life, isn't it? We will definitely win this election. But after politics, can everybody be employed by government? No. Those who will be employed, is their duty to ensure that the people, the women that they used to ensure we go to the right place, is for those women to be carried along, educate those that you need to educate that is not educated. Those that is educated, continue to find a way to give them reason to be happy that yes, my party has won, what is next? In my organization, we are putting together, we work with NDE, we work with charitable organizations. Thank God I lived and schooled abroad. My women, I put them in all sorts of trainings, whether during election or no election. These are one of the strategies to encourage the women that play your part, signpost yourself, so that tomorrow, wherever you want to get to in politics, you have a part to play.
Okay, my question is, you talked about education, you talked about uniting, coming together to unite. Women should unite together. And now, apart from that, what other factors do you think mitigate against women becoming what they should be in politics? Because year in, year out, we keep seeing the number of women in politics declining.
Yes.
Are there other factors apart from not being united and not
being carried along? Now, we all know there is poverty in the political women industry. Poverty.
Is it only in the political women industry?
Well, because I come here today basically to speak for my women about women in politics, right? If we want to generalize, I'll be going to I'll be going out of board, because why I am here is why are women not getting it right politically?
Exactly.
Do you understand? And some of the challenges, like I would say, we have religion problem, we have ethnicity problem, we have money problem. If a woman was supposed to contest for an election, the women folks, we don't rally around ourselves to ensure we raise the money. How many women did you hear bought the presidential tickets?
No, but in some parties they were giving to them free.
Well,
I know there were parties that actually gave women.
That's right.
There are some that reduced it by 50%.
That reduced it by 50%.
I think I retraced that footstep. Yeah. How many women that showed much interest? Really, not who bought. How many women? Because it's not about actually buying the ticket, or I mean getting on board to get the ticket. During the campaign, where is the money coming from? Where are the women? We do not have women who are backing the women up to say, you want to go to House of Assembly, we will help you for your campaign. We don't have it. But if it's the men, they rally around themselves, and obviously they get it.
Okay, the men
women also rally around. Okay, why? Now you just said something.
Yes.
If it is the men, they rally around themselves.
Yes.
Not just the men rallying around themselves.
The women even rally around the men.
Yes, women in thousands, in their millions also rally. So why do you think it's like that?
Well, reason being is women, I think there's some sort of cultural problem that is not allowing women to actually be active the way they want. For instance, there is a culture, I'm an Edo woman. I'm from the palace. My parents, my father was a big chief in Edo State before he died. There are times your tradition and your religion do not allow you as a woman to advance in certain things you want to do. Okay. Like politically, some husbands will say, no, my wife will not play politics. Possibly that woman has a lot in her that she would have given if enabled, if allowed to launch out her ideas, to launch out her interests, to be carried along. Obviously, if that was the case, such a woman, if the husband agrees, that's tradition, religion. Some religion will say, no, my wife cannot, like my Muslim women, some of them, they come fully covered. We respect that because it's the tradition, it's the rule that they abide by. Who knows what is inside that woman that can make a change within the women group and to help the country advance?
Along those lines that you're trying to paint.
Yeah.
Because what we're saying now is there are religious and cultural restrictions to women.
Yes.
This is one of the hurdles you women will have to scale. How do you intend to scale that hurdle? What kind of education do you want to give to the men folks that will make them play back on those restrictions, political and religious restrictions, that will say, okay, my wife, you go. Yes. And make sure you're back. How are you going to do that? I'm a man here between the two of you.
That's right. We have a lot of work to do within the women folks in politics. Talking about the men, like I always teach my women, I said it's not about you wanting to become a big-time politician by disrespecting the rule of your marriage.
Of course.
And, challenging your husband, wanting to place yourself in that same hierarchy with a man. A man is a man. You are under the man as a wife. Therefore, you need to find a soft pedal with your husband. Make him realize that your dream, you want him to support you. Today, look at our candidate for the APC, Bola Bakare. Look at his wife. They just launched over 1,500 women 3 days ago, yesterday, bringing women, powerful women from across the country. And who is leading that? Our mother, Aisha Buhari, and the wife of the presidential candidate. Because they know that the women have strength and that these women can do a lot. Therefore, through this, I want to continuously appeal to our women that please find a soft landing with your husband. Make them realize you have a potential to become great politically, and let your husband be a support. So I like to appeal to the men.
Okay, now that you've said that, women should know how to draw the line.
Yes,
that you are pursuing an ambition does not mean that you should be disrespectful to your husband. So where does feminism come into place? Because there has been the argument out there that women are being misled by feminists. And would you say feminism, as it's being preached by feminists in Nigeria, is in the right path?
Well, all over the world.
When it comes in terms of politics?
Of politics, all over the world. Pardon me to say, I would say it's only in Africa that a woman's quest to become something becomes an issue. Like in foreign world, any human being who has shown interest that I can do this, they are being empowered. Yeah, for the women in Africa, I keep saying it's culture that is most the problem we should fight with women getting involved properly, religion and culture. It's not actually because you're a woman or you're not a woman. In Africa, it's saying that a woman's place is in the kitchen. In Africa,
I thought that was a long time ago.
Why then we're trying to eradicate that, and that's why many organizations are springing up. Like for instance, I belong to another organization called 774 for APC. It's another massive women group led by Senator Binta Mansa Gamba. We are inside that group as well. It's all about ensuring that women are getting their rightful place. We do not want to continue to be in this situation where any woman, if you see that, oh, my wife or my sister, or even within the party structure, that some of these women, they are wanting to advance more than the men. There is always a technique that they use to sort of like bring you down. So we want to stand for ourselves. We want to keep pushing so that our voice must continuously be heard. A woman has a place in politics. Like Margaret Thatcher once said, is that when you want the grammar to be spoken, call the men. But when you want the action to be taken, call the women.
Okay, thank you. Let me ask you one question that is very pertinent when we talk about Nigeria and Nigerians.
Yeah.
Here in Nigeria, most of us are either semi-illiterate or stark illiterate. How do you get across to them? Because you need to inform people before you can educate and sensitize. How do you inform? It's not all about English.
I wish politics was all about grammar. Market women will not be involved. But then, strategies that we've used in the past. Personally, I'm sitting here, I'm still the vice president of Buhari Youth Organization. During past elections, we travel far to the villages. We translate information into languages. And we put our field workers out there, giving them room to translate any language wherever location we send them. Because it's not everyone that understands English. Our women in the villages, the farmers, speak too much Turenchi, you are just lost. You give them the idea that what's happening here. So part of our strategy is to translate English into languages.
Okay, that's a good one. Let me ask you this. It might sound a little bit partisan, but it's not partisan because it is a national thing.
Yeah.
Because you're talking in terms of you're trying to bring together all religions, Muslims, Christians, and
traditional
worshippers.
Yes, please.
What do you think about the Muslim ticket?
I didn't think you asked me that because
I'm asking you because you're talking about the three. You're saying
because
Muslims, Christians, traditional worshippers are your people.
Yes.
What about Muslims?
Why do I say, are you asking me? My organization speaks loud for that already. If I'm a woman for the past 2-3 years, I am bringing Christian women and Muslim women and traditional women together. It shows that, you know, this Muslim ticket should not be an issue within our country at all. Because at the end of the day, it's not about being a Christian to be able to achieve a goal, or being a Muslim to be able to achieve a goal, or a traditional worshipper to achieve a goal. It's about capacity, it's about knowledge, it's about experience. Therefore, please, religion shouldn't play a role here at all. It's about who can do it, who has the knowledge, who has done it before, who has proven to be able to do it somewhere else, and we believe that can do it again.
Thank you very much.
All right, talking along this line, religion should not be an issue, but we all know that religion has always played a role in our politics in Nigeria. So what would be your advice to religious leaders when it comes to talking to people and those people who like to go out and play on the card of religion to get to where they want to get to?
Well, since the Muslim ticket started, we've seen all the uprising from...
No, away from the Muslim ticket. Away from the Muslim ticket. It has been a general thing in this country. Whenever there's elections are coming up, you begin to see people grouping, okay, we are Christians, we are Muslims. You know, some persons, they even go as far as campaigning, that campaign for me, I belong to you, or I'm yours. So how do we get past that?
Okay, but you already know that there is a rule from INEC now, no more preaching in mosques and churches and all. In 2020 election, I go to churches, I go to mosques to talk about 2020 Edo State that I did under the interreligious movement. We were able to go to churches and mosques, go to traditional worshippers, their area, to speak to them. Now INEC has said no to that. Coming back to your question, obviously, people will have their interest as an individual. You are a Christian, you want to vote for a Christian, nobody can stop you. But the issue of Muslim ticket has played a big role now because we now had two players in the APC party. The presidential candidate is deputy, they are both Muslim. We heard and we are still hearing it, that is an issue, it's a fracas. But we are saying, please, 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 Christians, please accept that by the party who decided to play Muslim ticket, it's not about segmenting Christians from Muslim in this country or about changing this country to becoming a Muslim country, which can never happen. It's all about strategy for the party and how they intend to win. Therefore, please, Muslims, Christians, let's harmonize.
Thank you.
And get the right person.
Thank you. On this note, because, you know, one program is not enough for you to lay across your wealth of experience to Nigeria.
Definitely.
But at the same time, I would like you, as a last bit, as a last word, I want you to talk at Nigerians, most especially you women folks. You can leave me out of it. Tell them directly what you want to do, how you are going to do it, and how they can be part of it. You see, because there is one thing they say in education, repetition for emphasis.
True, sir.
You didn't learn 1, 2, 3 in one day. You must have said 1, 2, 3 a million times.
Definitely.
Can you tell Nigerians, most especially your women folks,
Yeah.
what you expect of them, so that women can have that affirmation, so that it can improve from 6% to maybe 15%. I am not looking at 35. The 35 is a fact. So go ahead and tell your women folks what they should do, what they should be ready for.
My fellow Nigerians, especially interreligious women across board and every other woman, I want to appeal that we are going into this election that we should not be biased. And interreligious women, as you know, our rule is we can do it. Whatever we set our mind to do, we can do it because we have the zeal, we have the knowledge, we are concerned, we want to move Nigeria forward. Therefore, I say to every Nigerian woman, please let's drop this bias about Muslim ticket. Let's think of Nigeria moving forward together as a nation. And then finally, we have a lot of strategies on ground. We have what we call the community-based models for our job as far as this election is concerned. We also have what we call the Youth of Tomorrow's program that will begin to launch out shortly. Please look out for any of this program in your location, whatever state you are, and please tie note with us. To reach interreligious women in politics, please, my number is 080-227-55235. 080-227-55235. Thank you very much, and I'll be back again when I need to be back here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would like to reiterate what we have just learned this morning, because much as I am a man, I am very, very particular about what happens in our country. And honestly, it is the women folks that does the most of the job. When it comes to elections, look at that queue of voters. It is usually 65-70% women and children and young ones. That is why it is necessary for them to come on board. They have difficulties, they have restrictions, both religious and cultural, that drives them back. Yeah. But at the same time, what they are saying now is, we are ready to come out, and we are coming out in full force. But the thing is, it is you, the women, that is going to come out before we, the men, take you on. The duty is yours. Before you, that franchise that you have of one man, one vote, before you use it, make sure you are using it correctly, so that at the end of the day, you will not be hearing all these kind of complaints that, oh, we men are marginalizing you, the women out there. We've talked a little bit about it this morning, and I guess the little insight you've gotten from Dr. Philomena ERIYO will sink in you, and then we can move ahead from there. Honestly, I'm looking at in Nigeria where we're going to have a female governor.
Wow.
Because that is the way to move forward. Let's have a female governor. We've been having deputy governors that are females, but at the same time, there is nothing wrong in having a female governor. On this note, I would like to say one big thank you to Dr. Philomena ERIYO. Thanks for coming.